This is MrVestek again, MrVestek.com. We're here with Chris Barrie, Rimmer from Red Dwarf, and Mr. Brittas. I suppose I should probably give you one of these.
Well done, yes. Yes, I like the abbreviation there. Good man. The short arm version, that is.
So how did your involvement with Spitting Image start?
Spitting Image started in 1983 when John Lloyd was looking, the producer, obviously Not the 9 O'Clock News, legendary now producer of Blackadder, Not the 9 O'Clock News, and then Spitting Image, and other things. He was looking around for people. I think he was kind of looking around for people who wanted to combine the very different skills of puppeteering and doing impersonations. And in myself and Steve Nallen, who did Margaret Thatcher's voice brilliantly, and others, Beryl Reid, excellent. So the Queen Mother, it was a Queen Mother, but he used Beryl Reid's a Beryl Reid voice for it, which was genius.
Yeah.
But anyway, he found Steve and myself who would be prepared to do both, you know. So that's, and essentially I was booked. There are some other great voice men, you know, John Glover, N. Rytell, Kate Robbins, John Sessions, Harry Enfield. They all came on board. But in the early days, it was just whoever could do certain voices for the pilot. And I think in the pilot in '83, the only voice I did was Michael Foot.
Oh yeah.
Remember him. You know, from there, really, as I say, I got booked, and you know, I obviously showed the range of stuff I could do, and got booked from there. And then '84 was the first series, and then I was with Spitting Image probably up to about 1990.
There's the horse racing kind of Irish connection as well that I always appreciated.
Well, yes, Michael O'Hare, of course, and Peter O'Sullivan. Well, they were the bastion of horse racing commentary back in the 70s, 80s, you know, it's just the contrast between Michael, the Peter O'Sullivan, and the Michael O'Hare. It was just a great gift for anyone who does commentary impersonations, you know.
So, when are we going to get the rights from the British Empire given to somebody like Dave so that we can see a new series?
Global consciousness going on here, yeah. Well, I really am going to now highlight that with my highlighter of things to do in early 2017 is to get the one guy we need to sort of, and he's the one writer who's interested. Two original writers. One never wants to work in TV again. I can kind of see his point of view sometimes. And the other one does want to get something on, but is being a little bit stick in the mud about it. So yeah, the Dave connection, that is something that me and my agent need to push a little bit harder. Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to do Brittas again. You know, when I did my little turn last night, people could probably see how quickly he can come to me without too much effort, really. So I will. So I need to we need to do more of it, but it's just getting in the right format, really.
Really appreciate the impression, by the way, flipping the interview there for a second. It felt like I was actually in a job interview. That was a good touch. Yeah. So the characters in Red Dwarf then have gotten into various scrapes over the years. If you were to write an episode of Red Dwarf, what do you think the general premise would be, and how exactly would Rimmer completely fail to save the day?
Well, if I were to write an episode of Red Dwarf, it would be Pony. It would be Pony, Pony and Trap, Cockney rhyming slang, allegedly.
It flew off my head a little bit.
I'm not a writer. There's only one man who, I mean, you know, in Series 7, I think that around that time that there were other writers sort of brought in to write Red Dwarf, but ultimately I think Doug, you know, had to sort of, you know, go through it and sort things out, really, because I mean, you know, he just knows Red Dwarf so well. If I wrote, you know, to be honest, I just don't have the wherewithal to write an episode of Red Dwarf, to be honest. And you know, I wouldn't make it very Rimmer centric. It's Red Dwarf's always been a four-hander, and you know, obviously in the early days it was pretty much Lister and Rimmer mainly, but with Cat and then Crichton sort of coming in as the series went by. But now it's a four-hander down the line, and No, I don't worry. There's no danger of me ever volunteering to write any Red Dwarf, and I will, obviously whatever scrapes Rimmer gets into beyond Series 12, I hope and look forward to the prospect of doing it.
And do we get a sneak peek as to maybe a storyline from Series 12?
Series 12, the only little sneak peek I can give you is that one of the episodes features all four of us in Crichton get up, in full Crichton mask.
Interesting.
So
you heard that here first, anyway.
That is a great episode with some smashing guest performances in Series 12, as there were in Series 11. I think you can look forward to the same flavour as Series 11, but obviously very different stories. And that Crichton one is a great experience for us as well to go through what Robert goes through. And I tell you what, he's a trooper.
Very hot, I imagine.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's why we always try and shoot it in the winter.
Yeah,
because in the summer it would be just unbearable for him.
So just one very quick final question. We all know what Rimmer World ended up looking like. What would Chris Barrie World look like?
I guess that's for me to know and for you to guess.
Okay, that's a fair answer, Wilson. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure. And thank you guys at home. Is there any are there any projects that you're working on at the moment that you'd like the viewers to know about?
No.
That you can tell us about?
Not really, no. I'm just happy to say that the only one is to get this Brittas Empire back on. I get sort of offered stuff, every now and then. But the thing is, doing something that's so well written as Red Dwarf and to a certain extent a lot of the Brittas Empire, I'm waiting for something on a par or nearly on a par, and I'll probably wait a long time.
Excellent. Well, I think the only applicable way then to say farewell to you is one of these.
Pinkle squirmy blib blab blob.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
All the best.
Thanks very much. Thank you.